Hey guys, Miss Kilgore here. Today we are working on math. We are working on the Floyd County Choice Board for middle school. And the daily math, we're on the second task, and it says write one-step equations and solve. You're going to be writing 5 one-step equations, and then you're going to solve those. So today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be working on one-step equations. I'll do a few examples, that way you know how to do them at home. And also my students here with me today. So I actually got this off of Teacher Pay Teacher. It was a free download, and I will put this in the link, or put it in the link below, okay? That way, in case any parents want to go on the website and download this. We are using cards. And can I borrow yours? And then the students will have an answer key. Now, it only says you have to write and solve 5, so this is going a little bit beyond. But I want to make sure that the kids are understanding it, okay? So allow them to watch the 10 examples that I do, and they can create their own 5 and solve them. Or if you want to give them a little extra practice, you can go and download this and allow them to do it, okay? All right, so the first thing that we need to know is what is our goal for solving one-step equations, right? Our goal is to get all the numbers on one side and the variable on the other side by itself, right? All right, so once we have the variable by itself, then that's how the problem is solved. So our variable is usually X, but it can be other alphabet like H, K, S. So variable just means that we don't know what the value of that is. So the variable is unknown to us. And to solve one-step equations, we have to do the inverse of whatever operation is being performed. Do you guys know what inverse means?
Like opposite?
Yeah.
So if it's like multiplication, you do division.
Exactly.
And adding, you do subtraction.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand that, Nikolai? All right, so inverse operations are operations with math, which addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, but they're the ones that are the opposite of each other. And Emily just said that the opposite of addition is subtraction, and vice versa. The opposite of subtraction is addition. And with multiplication, the opposite of that, or the inverse, is division. And when you have division, the opposite is, Nikolai? What's the opposite of division?
Adding.
Adding and subtracting are together. And then multiplying and dividing are together, right? So the opposite of division is multiplication. All right, so we're going to work a couple of these problems out on the board. And then you guys will be able to work on your own from home, okay? All right, so our first one is pretty simple. But we all need to start out simple. We can't go to the complicated stuff first, right? So we have x plus 6 equals 10. So what is our operation, Emily?
Adding.
Addition. Nikolai, what's the opposite of addition?
Subtract.
I think you're starting to get it now. Yeah, so subtraction. So we're going to have to, where it says plus 6, we're going to have to subtract 6. And when we do that, it cancels those 2 6's out. But whatever we do on this side of the equation,
You have to do to the other side.
exactly, we also have to do on this side. So we're going to minus 6 from the 10 too. And when we do that, what do we get?
4.
4. So x, which is our variable, is going to equal 4. So that's how you do a one-step equation.
Our teacher, she makes us put a line in the middle of the equal sign.
I have seen that before. We can try that on this next one, okay? Does that make you feel more comfortable?
Yeah.
All right. So with the ones, if you download them, they are going to have negative numbers, but we're not going to do negative numbers today. That may be saved for another lesson later on down the road. All right, so we have 9 equals x divided by 3. Okay, so Nikolai, what is our operation here? What are we doing on this side?
Times.
Okay, so what are we doing right here? What does this symbol mean?
Divide.
Exactly. Yep. Division. So we're doing division. So what do we need to do? What's the opposite? What's the inverse of division? Emily, do you want to answer that one?
Multiply.
Multiply, exactly. So on this side, and Emily says that her teacher, who's Jennifer Oosley, and she's an amazing math teacher.
Yes.
We're going to multiply by 3. And when we do that, it's going to cancel those 3's out and leave x all by itself. But Nikolai, do you remember what we just said a minute ago on the last problem? If we do something to this side,
Gotta do the same thing to the other side.
we got to do it to the same thing over here. All right, so Emily, what do we get whenever we do that? 9 times 3.
27.
27. So we're going to bring our x down, and we're going to write our 27 there. So what's our answer?
27.
Our variable, or x, is 27. Exactly. All right. So we did an addition and we did a division problem. Let's see what we got next. All right, we have 2x equals 32. All right, so first we need to identify our operation on the x side, right? And what is the operation?
Times.
Yeah, times or multiply, right? So what is the opposite or the inverse of multiplication? Go ahead, Emily.
Division.
Division. So we're going to divide this side by 2 to get rid of that 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever we do on this side, we are going to do to this side as well. So we're going to divide it by 2. All right. And if we do 32 divided by 2, what's our answer going to be? So let's think about this for a second, okay? Because we've been practicing on a lot of mental math, right? So let's say this is 30 instead of 32, right? What is half of 30?
25.
Okay, let's break it down, okay? We got, because I know we can use our calculators, and that's the first thing we usually go to, but let's think about it. So we have 30 plus 2. Let's break the 30 down even further. We got 20 and 10. What's half of 20?
10.
10. What's half of 10? Half of 10?
5.
I told you the answer, didn't I? 5. And then we're going to bring, what's half of 2?
1.
1. So our answer is going to be 10,
Plus
15.
16.
Ah. And then we're going to bring our x right on down there. So our answer is going to be x equals 16. So do you see how sometimes you can break these things down in your mind without having to use a calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do more math talks about that later, okay? So we had 32 and we broke that down to expanded form. And we knew that 30 was made of 20 and 10. And we knew that 20, half of that was 10. Half of the 10 was 5. And we knew half of the 2 was 1. So do you think that's a pretty interesting way to think about it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that is our answer for that one. Sometimes multiplication and division can be hard if you don't have those facts memorized. But it's not just about memorization, is it? It's also about being able to manipulate those numbers. All right, the next one is going to be 22 plus x equals 11. All right, so we have on the side of the x, we have 22 plus x. So what is our operation in this one?
Adding.
Addition, exactly. And Nikolai, what is the inverse or the opposite of addition?
Subtraction.
You got it. All right, so on this side, we are going to be subtracting the 22. And we're going to bring our x down here. And what are we going to do to this side, Emily?
Subtract 22.
I guess we're going to get into the negatives even if we didn't want to, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right, so whenever we take away from 11, we know that our answer is, if we're going to take more than 11 away, what is it probably going to be?
Oh,
It's going to be a positive number or a negative number?
negative.
It's definitely going to be a negative number, right? And what were you going to say, Emily?
Our teacher lets us use a number line.
You can do that, yeah. One that has 0 in the middle,
Yeah.
and then you can count backwards. That's correct. But if you know that it's going to be a negative, you could also do this. What's 2 minus 1?
1.
Okay. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So we already put our negative there, right?
Yeah.
And if we go ahead and do the problem, what are we going to end up with?
Negative 11.
A negative 11, exactly. Or you can use the number line like you said. We have 0 here, right?
Yeah.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's our 11. And then there's some more numbers there for us. And we're going to count back 22, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So our answer is going to fall right here. And then the only thing we have to do at that point is what, Emily?
Count to see how many.
In the negative you are, right?
Yeah.
And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So were we right?
Yes.
Okay. So there's lots of different strategies that you can use to solve problems, right? Number line is a great strategy that you can use. Especially when you're new to dealing with negative numbers.
Were we supposed to write that down?
Okay. It's okay. You're just so involved in the learning that you didn't know.
Wait, so we are.
It's okay. All right, so 18 plus x equals 40. So, what's our first step? We have to...
The line?
Okay, we can't put the line yet. What's after that?
Figure out what your,
Do you remember what it's called?
no,
It's okay. Our operation is.
operation.
Our
Yes.
operation. And what is our operation?
Adding.
Addition. Exactly. Right there, addition. And what's the opposite of that?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So we are going to be subtracting the 18, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to do it to both sides. We can go ahead and bring our x down. And what is 40 minus 18? Do you know automatically, or do you want to do one of our think alouds?
Can I take a guess?
Okay, go ahead and guess.
31?
31. Okay, so let's take a look at that, okay? So
No, I was wrong.
it's okay. Well, it's okay to guess, but then we got to check our guesses, right? So if we have half of 40, what is that?
20?
Uh-huh. So I know in my mind, I've got 20 plus 20 is going to equal 40. Now, what if I take 18 away from one of those? What do I automatically have left?
1?
1? So let's count up. 18,
19,
19,
20.
So how many are we going to have?
Oh, 2.
2. All right. So if we do 20 minus 18 here, we're going to have 2. And then our thing is 20 plus 2. And what is that?
22.
Yeah. So we can break this down to a more familiar number. We know that 18 is really close to 20. And in my mind, it pops up that half of 40 is 20. So I connect those together, and I realize in my mind that if I take 18 from 20, I only have 2. So 22 is my answer. Do you think like that?
I mean, I guess now I do.
You're starting to, right? You're starting to think about these numbers differently. And that's really what math is all about, is knowing your numbers. It's not about memorizing an equation or memorizing your multiplication tables. It's about actually having number sense and knowing how to manipulate numbers in a way that benefits you, right? Okay, so this one, we'll do this one, and then we will go ahead and stop the lesson and work on our work for today, okay?
Okay.
Do you guys feel like you're understanding this?
Yes.
You are? Well, I'm going to call on you this time, Nikolai, okay? If you think you're understanding it. All right. So we have 42 equals 7x. So like Emily says, let's draw our line. Nikolai, what is our operation here? What operation are we doing between the 7 and the x?
Timesing it.
Oh, yes, that is correct. Multiplication. So what is the opposite of multiplication?
Dividing.
I think you got it, yeah. Division. So we're going to divide by 7. Now when we do it to one side, Nikolai, what do we got to do the other side?
Multiply. The same thing.
Oh, the same thing. You caught yourself, didn't you? So here, on this side, we're going to bring our x down. So that's the only thing left now. And here we got to do a division problem. So 42 divided by 7, and what will that be?
42 divided by 7.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, so let's break it down a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what's 7 and 7? That one right there most people know, right? What's 7 and 7?
7 plus 7?
Mm-hmm.
14.
Okay, so we got 14. And we know that that is 2 7s, right?
Yes.
And we can add 14 again. And we know that'll be 4. So what's 4 and 4?
8.
2 and 2. I mean 1 and 1.
2.
Okay. All right, so 28 is 4. We still need to go up further, don't we?
We do
So-
this at the school all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I normally do.
Exactly. So we are going to add 14 more, which is 2 more 7s, right? And we're going to see what we come up with. 8 plus 4 is
8 plus 8.
count up if you need to.
I mean 12.
Don't guess. Yeah,
I said the wrong thing.
it's okay. Always count up. Count up is one of the easiest strategies to use, but you can count up in your mind. You don't have to use your fingers if you don't need to.
I normally use my fingers.
Okay. So 2 and 1 would be 2 plus 1
3.
plus 1 plus 1. You don't forget your carryover.
4.
Okay, 4. That's the number we're looking for, ain't it?
Yep.
So let's see. If we look, we got 4 of them here and 2 here. So how many altogether? How many 7s do I have altogether?
6.
Yeah, 6.
Okay.
So x is going to equal 6. So if you continue to use a calculator all the time, you're not going to really grasp the concept of the numbers, right? It's really handy. It's really fast. But you really sometimes don't understand the problem, these kinds of problems, unless you are really thinking about the math behind it. Okay, so we are going to get started Good job, Nikolai. It's okay. We'll get that. All right. So let me repeat the choice board assignment for the day. Write 5 one-step equations, which is what we have done today on the board. Those are one-step equations. So write 5 of those and solve. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, just post them in the comments below.